is 6:30 a.m. is fine for you?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine.
uh, so we'll see some of these introduction topics, okay, and
Yeah.
then we'll going forward. We'll see IDE and then WebDriver too.
Okay.
Okay, so if you see Selenium Origin, okay, basically it was developed by a ThoughtWork employee.
Okay.
Okay, so he uses a JavaScript programming language to automate his test cases. Okay, so
Okay.
slowly he started, converting that into a Selenium framework.
Okay.
So later he joined Google and with the Google team also he started working on Selenium Rc.
Okay.
Okay, and even ThoughtWork team also supported this Google team, and they together started the Selenium RC and then started improving it, and at the same time they made it as a open source. Okay, so
Okay.
it's not so if they can make it open source, okay, so the development process can be faster and the same, and it can be used for usually Google, right,
Yeah.
they keep it open source most of the times. Okay,
Yeah.
so and they made it as open source, and this thought works as well as Google started working on it, and eventually other companies also, other organizations, other people also started working on it, and it has become a big success. Okay,
Okay.
so after that, from Selenium RC, which has some limitations, and then to overcome that, okay, they started working on WebDriver, and okay, and also apparently they started working on Grid. Okay, so that is how
Okay.
it was formed.
Okay.
And after that, yeah, when you see, so what is Selenium? Okay, so the other thing is why we need to learn Selenium, or why other organization and most of the companies are moving towards Selenium. Okay, so before Selenium there are so many automation tools are there, very famous automation tools. Okay, for example, you take QTP. Okay,
Okay.
so it's there in the industry for quite some time. Okay, and everybody is using QTP, and they also started migrating to Selenium, and there is another competitor, IBM RFT, IBM Rational Functional Tester.
Okay.
Okay, and there are Silk Test. There are many automation tools are there. Okay, so everybody are starting moving towards Selenium. Okay, so we'll going to discuss about some of the features and uh, some of the features of it. Okay, before
Okay.
that, when I say Selenium, what is Selenium? Okay, Selenium is basically automation framework, okay, which is going to support automating your web application.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to support only automating web application. It's not going to support Windows based application. Okay,
Okay.
so the same you can think as a limitation of Selenium too. Okay,
Okay.
so when it comes to futures, okay, so yeah, let me summarize it. Okay, so what are the major features? Okay, one is it supports. First of all, it is open source, right?
Yeah.
It's free of cost. Anyone can take it. Anyone can use it directly without any permission. Okay, so
Okay.
in fact, you no need to register your email ID also. You can
Okay.
directly download it and use it. And other thing is, as it is a open source, uh, it comes as a free. It comes as a free and gives flexibility that you can modify Selenium original code and check in
Okay.
code. Okay, but it has to be approved. Okay, so it has to be let's say you modified Selenium according to your needs, or you fixed a bug in Selenium. As it is open source, anyone can do that. Okay, so you are
Yeah.
working for a latest, your customer need a Selenium to be working on a latest browser. Okay, and it is not supporting, and you fix the bug also in the Selenium.
Okay.
Okay, you can check in it. Okay, at the same time the Selenium community has to approve it. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
if there are, for the same bug, if there are multiple people are checked in, okay, so they will taking the best bug fix, and they will updating
Okay.
it. Okay, so that is one thing. And other thing is supports many browsers, or you can say all browsers. Can you name some browsers which you know?
Firefox,
Okay,
Chrome. and
Okay.
IE,
Any other thing?
Safari,
Okay, exactly.
and Android browser, HTML unit driver.
Oh,
That is, yeah,
yeah, correct. So HTML unit driver doesn't have a GUI, right? So
yeah,
it doesn't have any GUI. Even that also it supports. Okay, and any platforms? Do you know? Platforms is something but Windows,
yeah. Windows, Linux, and
Mac.
on Mac.
It supports all those things.
Yeah.
And programming languages.
Java,
Okay, huh,
Perl, PHP, and C Sharp,
exactly. JavaScript,
.NET. Yeah.
HTML unit. Sorry, HTML. And what else? Python.
Mm,
Okay,
.NET.
huh,
Yeah,
yeah, C sharp. Yeah,
C Sharp.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Java, Perl, PHP, C sharp, JS, JavaScript. JS is nothing but JavaScript, HTML, Python. Okay, so I think Ruby also it supports. Okay,
Okay.
you will see that. You see, it supports HTML, Java, PHP, Perl, Python, Ruby, and C sharp. Okay, and it
Okay.
supports IE, Firefox, Safari, Google Chrome, and Opera too. Okay, it supports Opera also. So we covered this one: Windows, Linux, and Macs. Okay,
Okay.
so this is okay. And other than that, these are the features of Selenium, major features of Selenium. So one, you know, and more of that. Another thing, if I say, so Selenium community support. Okay, it has let's say if you are stuck with some problem. Okay, so you don't need to write a your problem to get the answer. Okay, most probably somebody might have posted your problem and they might have got the answer also. Okay,
Okay.
so it has vast community, it has vast support. Okay, so you will get most of the questions will be answered in Selenium because
Oh,
everywhere it is used. Okay, only
okay.
companies can afford QTP, that too they want automate Windows based applications, so then they are going for QTP.
Okay.
And okay, these are the features which we know. If I say some more thing, it supports suppose rich set of operations. So when I say rich set of operations, it supports all those things. It supports click, type, okay, drag and drop, all complex operations too, drag and drop, and many other. Uh, so these are the features. And other than that, so when it comes to Selenium versus QTP, okay. So you have any points to tell? It supports only web application.
Okay.
It supports
And Selenium is open source,
Windows exactly. It's open source.
and Selenium supports all the browsers, but
Exactly.
I think QTP not.
Correct. Exactly. QTP supports IE and Firefox. Okay. I make it as this one so that we can differentiate it.
But it's fine.
Okay. And when it comes to programming language,
And
programming language support
QTP supports only VB script.
VB scripts. That was become major disadvantage for this VB script.
Light on Jiva.
When it comes
Light.
to
Light.
no report generation, Okay, so Selenium doesn't support any report on its own,
Yeah.
but QTP does it. Okay, so when it comes to backward compatibility, no backward compatibility, I can say.
Backward compatibility
A
in a
little bit,
sense.
it's a little backward compatibility is there. I will explain you. Okay, backward compatibility is nothing but, um, let's say you are using a Selenium version. Okay,
Okay.
let's say a few some months back you have taken the Selenium jars and you have started using it. Okay,
Okay.
okay, they don't bother about the backward compatibility. That means, okay, if they want to change the things, okay, they will change it. If they want to change some APIs, let's say click, okay, click is an API, and type, okay, drag and drop, okay. If they want to add some additional APIs, that is okay, there is no issue, okay. uh, and if they want to modify some of the existing APIs,
Okay.
if they want to modify the behavior of existing APIs, okay, let's say you are using already click, okay, so that is not earlier that is returning, once it is clicked, it might return true or false, for example, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if they want to change it, that behavior, they will change it, okay. They don't bother that, they are not exactly bothered about backward compatibility. Let's say these APIs are already using, if I modify, there will be many people who will suffer, okay.
Okay.
So so such kind of thinking they don't have right now, okay.
Okay.
Not completely, but they have it, okay, not complete, they're free to change it.
Okay.
So when it comes to backward compatibility, okay, Selenium as lagging in terms of that, okay, whereas QTP, even QTP, the code which is used 5 years back also, okay,
Okay.
they can able to migrate to the latest version easily,
Okay.
okay, without any modifications except the upgradation of QTP.
Okay.
Okay, so that is called backward compatibility. Even let's say somebody using your product some time back, okay, even they can able to freely upgrade your latest version without bothering about the code changes required to done.
Okay.
Okay, because as it is a paid thing, no, they have to think about all those things.
Yeah.
And anything else? Okay, so these are the major Selenium versus QTP things. And supported platforms we already seen, right? In the
Yeah.
future itself, we got it like Windows, Mac, Linux.
Yeah.
Okay, and we just done this one. And when it comes to Selenium variants, so you might be knowing IDE and RC. So Selenium RC, it's a remote control. So shortly, people call it as RC. And Selenium web driver, okay, and then Selenium grid, okay. So IDE is just a record and playback, right?
Yeah.
You can record the user actions and play it back again, okay.
Okay.
So it's not only just a record and playback, okay, where you can save the test cases, whatever the test cases you recorded, you can save it, and you can make a test suite, and you execute group of test cases, okay, using the test suite.
Okay.
And you can also basically it records in the form of Selenium commands.
Okay.
Okay, Selenium commands is nothing but IDE uses some commands. So those let's say when you click on it something or type something, okay, it generates a code, okay. So
Okay.
in the form of Selenium commands, and that code you can able to you can able to convert into either Java, Ruby, C sharp, like that. It supports multiple languages, right? Okay,
Yeah.
at the same way you can able to export the test cases in different languages.
Okay.
Okay, so that export facilities is also there. That is one a best advantage of IDE. Let's say you doesn't know uh, how to perform an operation. For example,
O-
you doesn't know drag and drop how to do that.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to do it. Okay, so
Okay.
in that case, you can open the IDE, create a test case, and drag and drop your objects. Okay, save the test case and export it, and it will generate a test code for Java.
Okay.
Okay, so you can specify the language you want, Java, Ruby, or C sharp. Okay, when you specify Java, it's going to generate a whatever the steps recorded, it's going to generate a Java source for it. Okay, so
Okay.
where you can open in a notepad or somewhere and take the code which you want it. You want a drag and drop code, right? So you
Yeah.
can take that piece of code and copy into your project, your Eclipse project. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that kind of facility is also there. And other than that, you can also, let's say you doesn't know a property value. Okay, let's say there is a web element, a button is there. Okay,
Okay.
so you are unable to find out the properties of that element.
Okay.
Maybe you have not installed the Firebug in your Firefox. Okay, for example, or you doesn't know how to see it.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, you can open the IDE and click on that particular button. Okay, so what it does, it's generate a code for it. When it generates code for it, it will also specify the properties of that particular element. So
Okay.
take that properties and keep it in your Eclipse project wherever you want. Okay, so such kind of advantages are there. Okay, one is export thesis. This is the main advantages. Okay, and recognize properties. Okay, so we can get the properties also from the test case. And coming to Selenium RC, right?
Yeah.
So Selenium RC is basically, this is where you are going to use your programming language. Okay, you will be using one of your no programming language, one of your known programming language, and you will be automating the web application by writing some automation code.
Okay.
Okay, so it's to use programming language to automate your web application. Okay, so and the other thing is that it is deprecated. It's deprecated is nothing but it's going to be destroyed soon. Okay,
Okay.
deprecated is nothing but, so it is not working, or it's not uh, it's not, it should not be used like that. Okay, so it is an indication. Okay, like you can say warning. Okay,
Okay.
when some train is coming to platform, they will announce, right? Okay, don't come
Yeah.
into platform. Okay, something like that. Be careful, something in the same way. It's deprecated is nothing but it's an indication that Selenium community is going to destroy the Selenium RC, or Selenium RC doesn't have any future updates. So
Okay.
it's an indication. Okay, so it's deprecated, that means it's going to be
Destroyed.
to be destroyed soon. Okay, right now you can use it, but it's going to destroy it soon.
1 second.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
లేదు వేయలేదు. అది లోపల ఫ్రిడ్జ్ కింద అక్కడ ఒకటి ఉంది, గిన్నెలో ఉంది. ఉన్నాయి. లేవా చూడండి ఒకసారి. యా టెల్.
Yeah, Selenium WebDriver, again, it allows you to use programming language to automate your web application. So before that, it has intro- introduced to uh, overcome from certain limitations of RC, and it allows you to use programming language to automate your web application. And Okay, something like that. Okay. So it has introduced to overcome certain limitations of RC, and as like Selenium, it also allows you to use programming language to automate your web application, and it is trendy now. It's nothing
Okay.
but it's more demand now. Okay, so when I say certain limitation of Selenium RC, okay, so Selenium RC is required to start a server before running your automation code.
Okay.
Okay, you have to start a server, and all your commands will go to the server will interpret it and then send that commands to your web browser, and there your commands will be executed.
Okay.
Okay, so when you start the Selenium server, okay, you started the Selenium server and you started sending the commands to server. Okay,
Okay.
so from your automation code that time, so it recognizes which browser you want to open.
Yeah.
From your command it understood that you wanted to open, for example, Firefox. Okay, so it opens the Firefox and then it injects Selenium core.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see if I'm having a diagram for that. Where I kept it is one second. Okay, yeah, we got it. So if you see this one, right, this diagram, okay,
Okay.
so a server will start, okay, when it receives a command, the first command, which browser to open, and okay, which browser to
Okay.
open, which URL to open. When it receives, it opens a particular browser. For example, it receives a commands to open IE, so it opens an IE. Okay, and after opening, it will inject Selenium core into IE.
Okay.
Okay, so you might be wonder what is Selenium core. Selenium core is nothing but set of JavaScript libraries, nothing else.
Okay.
Okay, it's a set of JavaScript libraries. Okay, so it injects Selenium core. Okay, so till now you were fine, right? The
Yeah.
next thing is when it receives another command. Okay, so
Okay.
it converts that command, it interprets that command and converts that command into a corresponding JavaScript function.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you are writing in a Java code, somebody will be writing in a Ruby, somebody will be writing in a Python, C sharp, whatever the language it supports. Okay, so what it
Okay.
does is, okay, so what are the commands, they receive it, the server receive it. Okay,
Okay.
so first it will convert that command. It could be a Java command, it could be a Python command, or it could be a PHP, or whatever it is. First it will convert that command into a JavaScript corresponding function. Okay,
Okay.
that function will be called here in the browser.
Okay.
Okay, so here the functions will be defined in the Selenium core. The functions are defined. Okay, so the server is convert that command into a JavaScript function, and that function will be invoked.
Okay.
Okay, so in a straightforward, Selenium server receives a command, interprets it, and converts into a JavaScript function call. Okay, so and
Okay.
it will call the function defined in Selenium core.
Okay.
Okay, that is how the execution flow will happen.
Okay.
Okay, so before that, so before doing all these things, so I said your automation code sends a command to Selenium server, right?
Yeah.
So how it sends, so how your automation code knows where is the server. Okay, so for
Okay.
that, when you start the Selenium server, it open up say port. So that could be
Okay.
a triple four. I mean, you can define a port, or if you don't define a port, it's going to generate a by default port that is 4 4 4 4 4. Okay.
Okay.
So in your automation code, you will be specifying a URL. Okay. So in which contains IP in the URL, which contains an IP and the port.
Okay.
So IP is nothing but where is your server running
Okay.
and on which port it is running. Okay, you will be specifying it.
Okay.
Okay, so from there onwards, it will your automation code binds to the server and it extends the commands. So that is how basically it happens. How RC executes. Okay, so when it comes to WebDriver, okay, so it doesn't require. You can see nowhere we have not mentioned a server concept here in this first diagram. Okay,
Okay.
so the client will have the client will directly, client is nothing but your automation code. Okay, the
Okay.
client will directly invokes the native libraries of browsers. Okay, so
Okay.
directly it has it directly invokes the native libraries of browsers, that could be Firefox, IE, Chrome, HTML. Okay, so
Okay.
as it invokes the native libraries of each and every browser, it doesn't require any server support. Okay,
Okay.
so all these native all these clients are supported by, for the Firefox you use Firefox driver, and for IE you use IE driver. Okay, so we'll come to know all those things. And you also require Selenium server. Okay, in case you are running automation code in one machine and trying to execute that code in another machine.
Okay.
Okay, uh, let's say I have a automation code, I want to execute this code in your machine, for example, which is
Oh,
sitting remotely. Am I right?
yeah.
Okay, so in that case, so I require to run a Selenium server in your machine.
Okay.
Okay, not in my machine, in your machine. Okay, so the commands will be passed to you and then passed to the Selenium server, and that will be executing it.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how it happens.
Okay.
Okay, we done this one. Grid, right?
Yeah.
Most probably many people might not be using Selenium Grid. Okay, so it is important to know with respect to interview purpose, or maybe in the future, in the future if you are going to use it, it will be helpful. Okay, so Selenium Grid is nothing but, it's, in simple word if I have to say, it supports distribution of test cases. Okay, so distribution of test case is nothing but in uh, in a real time example, if I have to say, let's say you have 100 automation, sorry, you have 100 test cases.
Okay.
Okay, so your manager knows you, a person can able to execute only 20 test cases per day.
Okay.
Okay, so it could be a complex or it could be a medium complex, whatever it could be, a person can able to execute 20 test cases per day, that means in 8 hours.
Okay.
Okay, so but your manager has to give the report in one day.
Okay.
Okay, and he finds there are some resources are available.
Okay.
So what he does now, can you guess?
He will share with other resources also those
Ex-
test cases.
exactly. Okay, so you are 1%, so you can do only 20 test cases. He will ask another 4 people. Okay, he will distribute and everyone to 20 test cases. That's how 5 resources and 20 test cases is 100, right?
Yeah.
So so there is a sharing is happening.
Yes.
Okay, so in the same way, think of, there are 100 automation test cases.
Okay.
Okay, and there are 5 missions available.
Okay.
Okay, and each mission is capable of executing, having different browsers in it.
Okay.
Okay, let's say, so in a simple manner, we'll take 3 missions. Okay, Okay, and you have 100 automation test cases.
Okay.
Automation thesis. Okay, so the first mission which have Firefox, all those things. Okay, so first mission, yeah, in the first mission you want to use a Windows Firefox, for example,
Okay.
and the second mission it's a Linux, for example, you want to Linux, a Chrome you want to run, and third mission it's a Mac. Okay, Mac, and you want to execute it Safari. Okay, like that you can have multiple missions. For example, if the fourth mission again that is Windows 8, so it is a Windows 7. Okay, it's a
Mm.
Windows 8. Okay, again you want to execute higher. Okay, so like that. So now you can distribute for the first mission. So you don't need to distribute anything. Okay, so these 100 test cases will be distributed across the four missions, and parallelly will be executed. All these test cases will be parallelly, all these different test cases will be executed parallelly, so that your turnaround time is going to reduce.
Okay.
Okay, 100 test case is going to take 100 minutes for you.
Okay.
Okay, now by 4 it comes to 25 minutes now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's how do I define by 4, because
Okay.
4 missions 100 thesis. Okay, so that is how it happens. Okay, it has a capability distribute your test cases,
Okay.
and it's not a programming language, or you are not going to do anything else. Okay, so you are going to start a hub where your
Okay.
automation code is available, or any other mission. Okay,
Okay.
okay, you are going to have a hub. Okay, to that hub there are multiple nodes will be connected. Each node you can consider as a mission.
Okay.
Okay, you can simply say node 1. There are 4 nodes. Okay, so
కింద పెట్టు.
okay, there are 4 nodes, and there will be one hub. All these 4 nodes will be connected to a hub.
Okay.
Okay, so you are passing your commands to the hub.
Okay.
Hub will redirect. Let's say node 1 is occupied with some test case. Hub will distribute to another node. Okay, so that is how it happens. All
Okay.
your commands will go to hub. Hub will distribute your test cases.
Notes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is how your execution becomes distributed and parallelly executed. Okay,
Okay.
so in tomorrow we'll do installation of Java and Selenium.
Okay.
Okay, so before that we'll go with Selenium IDE. Okay,
Okay.
so Selenium IDE doesn't require anything to install except the
Oh yeah.
IDE plugin. Okay, so
Oh.
first we'll do that, we'll finish it. Okay,
Okay.
and then before using the WebDriver we do all these things, installation of Java and Selenium.
Okay.
Okay, so and then we'll start working on WebDriver. That is where everybody focus, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
we'll put more effort and more concentration on WebDriver, and also on Grid. Okay, at the end we are going to see Selenium Rc.
Okay.
Okay, so Ramya, this is enough for today. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
we'll meet on Monday.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, yeah, sure, fine then. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.